Okay, let's talk about one of the most critical decisions you'll ever make as a marketplace founder. We're talking about how you move the money. It sounds simple, right? But trust me, this one architectural choice, it has these massive ripple effects on your entire business, from your legal exposure all the way down to your daily operations. So you did it. You built the platform, you've got buyers and sellers lining up at the door, but now comes the million-dollar question. And I mean that literally. How do you get the money from the customer over to the seller and make absolutely sure you get your cut along the way? Let's just break this down into the simplest terms possible. Think about a ride-sharing app. A rider pays for a trip. A driver delivers the service. That money has to get to the driver, but not before you, the platform, take your fee. It's a three-way street. And here's the thing. How you handle that split isn't just some small technical detail you leave to the engineers. No way. It is a foundational choice that impacts everything: your compliance burden, how you handle refunds, your whole financial setup. So let's dive into the two core ways you can build this thing. When it comes to marketplace payments, you're basically standing at a fork in the road. There are really only two primary models, two fundamental ways to structure this flow of money. And the path you choose right here at the beginning, it's going to define how your platform operates financially from here on out. So on one side, you've got this split at charge model. Think of your payment provider as a traffic cop here. The second the customer pays, the provider directs the money into different lanes, some to the seller, some to you. Then on the other side, there's collect then transfer. In this model, you, the platform, are more like a bucket. You collect 100% of the payment first, and then it's on you to pay everyone out later. Let's dig into split at charge a little more. The beauty of this one is how direct it is. The customer makes a single payment and bam, the system automatically carves out your commission and sends the rest straight to the driver. The key phrase here is that you spend way less time holding other people's money, which from a legal and accounting perspective is a much, much cleaner place to be. Okay, now for collect then transfer. With this one, you're acting kind of like a temporary bank. You get all of the customer's money in your account first. Now, you might be asking, why would anyone want that headache? Well, a lot of the time, it's about making onboarding super fast and easy. You can sign up new drivers without making them create special payment accounts. You just grab their bank details and you handle the payouts yourself, maybe in one big batch every Friday. All right, so you've got these two models in your head. The theory makes sense, but how do you actually build it? Well, that all comes down to the tools you pick, specifically which payment service provider you partner with. So let's actually map some of the real-world providers to these two paths. Now, what I love about this is how it just lays out the whole South African landscape for you. You can see right away that not all payment providers are created equal for marketplaces. Paystack really jumps out because it can handle both models. You've got PayFast, which offers a split, but it might take some more work to set up. And then you have a provider like Yoko, which is awesome for simple payments, but just doesn't have the built-in splitting you need for a slick, automated marketplace. Given how flexible it is, let's just zoom in on Paystack for a minute, because it supports both of the models we've been talking about. Understanding how it works gives us a perfect blueprint for what a modern, complete marketplace solution can look like. So here's how it works. First up, you create what they call subaccounts for your drivers. It's just a way to securely store their bank info. Then you get to choose. Do you want to split the payment right there, instantly for every single ride? You can do that. Or would you rather collect all the money and then use their transfers API to do a big bulk payout at the end of the week? You can do that too. And this last part is crucial. You use webhooks, which are just like automated notifications for your system, to know for sure if a transfer actually worked or if it failed. That way, you're tracking everything automatically. Of course, Paystack isn't the only game in town. PayFast has a split payments feature, but there are some question marks around how they handle things like chargebacks. You've got others like Flutterwave and Peach, which have great marketplace tools, but they often feel like they're built for bigger enterprise-level companies. And then on the other end of the spectrum, Yoko's lack of native splitting means you'd have to build a whole manual payout system yourself, and that's a ton of extra work. So far, we've pretty much covered the happy path, right? Where every payment works perfectly. But the real test of your payment architecture isn't when things go right. It's when they go completely horribly wrong. Let's get into the messy world of edge cases. Ah, yes, the perfect world. A customer pays, the driver gets their money, the transaction is locked in, everybody's happy. But we all know it's rarely ever that simple, is it? Because in the real world, customers change their minds. They dispute charges with their bank. They initiate chargebacks. And all of a sudden, that clean, simple transaction you thought was done becomes this messy, complicated nightmare that you, the platform, are stuck right in the middle of. And this, right here, is the absolute heart of the problem. When a chargeback happens, your payment provider doesn't go chasing after the driver. Nope, they come straight to you. They pull the full amount directly from your platform's balance. So now you're out of pocket, and you've got to figure out how to claw that money back from a driver you've probably already paid. This just opens up a whole Pandora's box of problems. Who's on the hook for that refund? Spoiler alert, it's almost always you. And to make it even worse, the processing fees you paid are almost never returned, so you actually lose money. This is exactly why your legal contract with your drivers is not just some formality. It is your financial shield. It absolutely has to spell out, in no uncertain terms, how you handle these clawbacks. So, after all that complexity and doom and gloom, how on earth do you make the right choice? Well, it's not about finding a magical, perfect solution. It's about really understanding the trade-offs and then picking the one that lines up with your business strategy. This really just sums up the whole thing, doesn't it? It is the ultimate trade-off. On one hand, split at charge gives you a much cleaner legal position and way fewer operational headaches from holding funds. On the other hand, collect then transfer might let you sign up drivers a little faster, but you're just kicking a giant can of complexity and liability down the road. At the end of the day, there is no single right answer for everyone. You have to ask yourself, what are we optimizing for? Is it rapid, frictionless growth at all costs? Or is it long-term stability and lower risk? Your answer to that question is what's going to point you to the right architecture for your marketplace. And that brings us to our final thought for today. Designing the payment flow, that's just step one. The much bigger question is everything that comes next. Things like know your customer requirements, fraud management, and the whole world of compliance. So your payment flow might be ready, but is your business ready for the risk that comes with it? We're going to dig into that in our next explainer. Thanks for joining me.